Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. So we're in Brixton once again to discuss Kyrie and the battle of the birthright. Some of you may be asking, what does that mean? What's the battle of the birthright? Well, when we go through the interviews today, you're going to find out. Okay, we had the part 1 episode when we talked about Kanye or Ye and Kyrie. You guys should have watched that already. If you're not, just check that out. Now we're going to discuss the lack of support that he gained from his colleagues, peers, men, and the support that he actually gained from Israel United in Christ on when he returned back last Sunday, and the way the media even tried to entrap him with that support that he gained.
Right. Yeah, exactly. 1,000+ men showed out. They showed out for our brother Kyrie. We're not necessarily saying we stand for everything that he stands for, but we stand for what is biblical about what he said, about the men. This when he said, he has men that's behind him. That's the men of the Lord. Men of the Lord showed out in a cold to show support for a brother that had something that was biblically inclined, and we showed out for him.
Yes, well said, officers. And we want to speak to the people, see what they think, see if our people actually know what's going on, because a lot of our people are sleeping, right? So what do our people think about it? Okay, what does God say about what Kyrie said about our history, our nationality, and we want to really cause people to think and hear what their perspective are.
So stay tuned. IUIC London, cuts from the streets. Shalom, shalom. Today we're in Brixton, and I'm here with
Keon Rashani.
Keon. So where are you from?
I'm from California, man.
All right. So today we're going to discuss, you being from America, we're going to discuss some American issues right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you're familiar with the basketball team, the Nets?
Brooklyn Nets, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. So
With
G Rockavelli.
Jew Rockavelli. Jew, wow, Jew Rockavelli.
G Rockavelli.
Oh, G, okay, you got me excited there. I always say Jew, because we are the Jews, all right? So today we're talking about Kyrie Irving, right? So what do you know so far, so I can just get a quick understanding?
So from what I know, it's like he was obviously talking about the documentary that he watched that was obviously Amazon that was sold it.
Yeah.
And obviously like he was talking about the Jews and stuff like that, very much linked to what Kanye was talking about on the Drink Champ interview and all the other interviews he done following up after.
Well, pretty much what's happening is Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, he said that black people are the true Jews, all right? Meaning that we are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What's your thoughts on that?
You know what it is? I'm not really like watching TV like that, yeah, but me personally, I feel like he's just chatting right now. Like, obviously, Kanye West has a lot of money. He's gonna say a lot of things in it, and people may believe that. But to me, all Jews ain't black people. You get it? Like, I don't know what he's trying to do with that. You get it? I don't tolerate it. So, yeah.
What have you seen with the situation with Kyrie right now? What have you seen that's going on? What's been said? What's been happening?
I've seen that he's been in the news for anti-Semitism. I've seen that he's been in the news for other stuff in the past. Especially last year with him refusing to take the vaccine. So I've seen quite a lot of Kyrie in the news most recently with the anti-Semitism stuff.
Okay. And the one we're going to focus on today, especially, is the most recent stuff. Now, what's your take on the whole situation? What have you seen happen to him? Do you think it's just, unjust? Because a lot of different people, even within the basketball world, it seems that there's different opinions.
Oh, I feel like definitely from my own point of view, I don't feel like he's anti-Semitic. I don't think it's possible for someone that I think Kyrie is quite an intelligent person, and I think he's been around, obviously, coming up and getting into the NBA, where you have all these cultures coming together and stuff. I don't think that it's possible for him to be anti-Semitic. So personally, I don't think that's true. But I do think that when he explains himself online, I feel like sometimes he might try to get attention in some way, and obviously it doesn't mean that he's anti-Semitic, but it just means that the media can bend and try phrase his words in a type of way to make it look like he is.
So now, Kyrie Irving, what do you guys know about Kyrie Irving and the story from when it began all the way through till pretty much now? Give me your rundown on what you think of what's happened.
Well, Kyrie's he's a pretty influential figure. He's someone that's carried out a lot of charitable donations. Really looks after his community. He's not afraid to speak out his thoughts, even when there's a lot of evidence against it. He sticks with what he believes in, and so I feel like a lot of the narrative is trying to paint him in one way and kind of trying to force the whole wave to follow on suit, and it's not really giving him much of a chance to be himself. Anything that he says, they twist it in a way to make it seem like he's crazy or like
The day right there is the media, pretty much what you're saying.
yeah, literally the media. The media is designed to make the mass think in a certain way, and if they don't think in that way, they do anything they can to make sure that happens.
What do you think as well?
Yeah, as my friend said, I agree with him. Kyrie, he's done a lot of charities and for people across the world. So I feel like what they're doing to him, I feel like it's unfair because they're trying to paint him as someone who's bad, when really, if you really look at the things that he's done, like he's done a lot for, especially for the black community as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think he donated like $1 million to, I think it was food banks and things like that. Like he's not just someone who's come up and is like, yeah, I'm gonna spend my money on garms and all of that. He's given back to his own community, and I feel like everyone who's outspoken and is not afraid to stand up for something that they truly believe in and has a certain like level of power in society is someone that the media and, you know, those above the media are focusing on and trying to like pin down. Examples like Kanye West, even what's his name? Andrew Tate, like, you know, they have controversial ideas, but they're not afraid to speak about things that might go against the status quo. And so, yeah, I feel like Kyrie is a prime example of how they're trying to take out sports minds, trying to conform them to their own societal pressures and everything.
What is the big noise about? Why is his name ringing bells right now? What happened? What happened? Hold on. What happened for his name to be ringing bells right now?
I guess it's what we're fed. It started with flat earth shit, which we love. And then I think it was, anti-vax a thing in a world where we're like, get vaccinated to play.
Okay.
And then what was it? And then it was the fucking broadcasting that one movie, which is fucked up as well.
Okay,
and,
hold.
Yeah.
So he
I get it, by the way.
No.
I get it
Hold on.
Right, let's go.
So he broadcasted
I get it.
He broadcasted the movie, right?
Yeah.
Well, not broadcast. He tweeted.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know the full. Yeah. I don't know the full bits. What we receive it as is, I get it, by the way, and what I receive it as is like the Black Jerusalem.
Okay. But what I was gonna say really is, what happened? He took a screenshot of a documentary, right? And that's what he posted as a tweet. So so that's what he put out there. Now, as you're gonna say, you haven't seen the documentary, right?
I have not seen the documentary, no.
But since it was posted, the term of anti-Semitic has gone thrown around, and he's been labeled that by tweeting it. Now,
yeah,
was there any error in him just tweeting a documentary?
No. So what I would say is, we are all fundamentally fucked up. Like the fact that we are, sorry, I should be hiding this.
No, keep going.
The fact that like we are so homed in to whatever one person says is the most fucked up thing ever. Because we're all human. We're gonna say shit. We're gonna feel certain ways. So like, there's a spotlight on this guy that he doesn't even need, because like, let him be as a human. Don't hyperanalyze everything this motherfucker says. Did he use his platform in a weird way at a weird time? 100%.
So what was weird about him just posting
it's not the right time, in a time where people are sensitive? And if you're a hard hitter, then it's fine. Everything, like, we all acknowledge that, but a majority of the people are not. So I think, like, again, he's being like me. Kyrie Irving is being like me on the fucking corner of Brixton, but Kyrie's not me. Kyrie is in the people's ears. Kyrie is like the man that people want to listen to. And if he's speaking, not bullshit, because I want to trust what he says and everything, but I just mean it makes people feel a certain way. Nah.
On Kyrie. Kyrie shared a link on Twitter. All he did was share a link. And why are they so offended at what he shared, do you think?
Because, like, the truth hurts, innit? They always say in life, yeah, the truth hurts. You see, like, for example, yeah, you see when you was young, yeah, and your parents will say to you, oh, tell the truth. You still get a beating, even though you told the truth, right? So in essence, like even when you go and tell the truth, yeah, it's like you still get hit back. So everything, even when this is not the first time they've tried to do stuff to Kyrie. Because if you remember back, I hope I'm not like jogging off, but even like with the COVID stuff, like he talked about the COVID stuff, and he wasn't partaking in playing basketball. Do you know what I mean? So he's been talking the truth. Do you know what I mean? And it's not he's not the first person to say the same thing. Because why is it every single time it's brought up talking about the Jews, guys get like taken off? You've had it over here with Wiley. You had it now with Kanye. We had it now with Kyrie. So, you know, why is it every time when Jews are being mentioned, there's been this, you know what I mean?
Listen, you're going all the way in. That's correct. Like I say, every time our history, because we are the Israelites, Wiley mentioned it, Kanye West mentioned it, Kyrie Ivy mentioned it. What's the common denominator? They all got cancelled. Or they all tried to get cancelled at least. For saying the truth, like you're saying. The truth.
Okay, so when you say all Jews ain't black people, what are you saying? That some Jews are black and some are not?
Some by their choice. Like everyone has choices, innit? Everyone has their own brain, so they have their own mindset. So if you want to become a Jew, then that's on you, innit? But I wouldn't class everyone as a Jew if they don't want to be classed as a Jew. You get it? So I wouldn't say all black people are Jews or what. I would just say some people by choice.
Okay, so based on what you're saying, Darrell, it sounds like what you understand Jew to be is more so like a religion. Now, Jew, when you actually read the Bible, is a tribe. Okay, so meaning that you can't actually choose to be a Jew because you want to. You have to be born a Jew. All right. It's like, for example, I can't choose today to be a Chinese. I have to be born a Chinese. There's no such thing as me choosing to be an Arabian man. I have to be born, Arab. You understand? So pretty much, pretty much being a Jew is by birthright. Okay.
From your understanding, where did these claims or whatever people have been saying about Kyrie Irving, where did it stem from? What did he actually do to cause people to say, you know what, he's anti-Semitic, he's this, he's that? What did he do?
Or basically, most people, I feel like, especially the people that understand a little bit about the situation, they don't. I don't think they feel like he's anti-Semitic. I think people just feel like he said the wrong thing at the wrong time. At the same time, if a person said something about another person, maybe if he's not educated or he's not been in that area, and he said something that was a bit outrageous, if he apologized and said, I don't feel that way, people wouldn't consider him racist or anything. They might just consider the fact he might have said something in the wrong place or something. So I feel like most people do consider it that way, that he's just said something in the wrong place at the wrong time, and especially, well, from what I know, he posted on his Twitter, he posted a screenshot of an anti-Semitic book, and he didn't say anything. So a lot of people who might have heard about the book and do understand that in that book there is some stuff which might be incorrect or a little bit bent. People might see that just posting that screenshot with no context kind of might lead to people think that he might be anti-Semitic. But again, no one has the right, I feel like, to say that he is anti-Semitic, because he's not done something so outrageous. Like just posting a screenshot is not going beyond like to get like more cancelled or something like that.
Now let's touch the movie or the documentary and everything behind it. So you talked about Black Jerusalem. What did you mean by that?
To be honest, I think that there's like interwoven stories, and I'm not going to act like I actually know any of the interwoven stories. Yeah. But it's each person's own interpretation of some bullshit from the past.
Okay. So now, let's talk about this. So now, we had, when Kyrie did the tweet, you had a lot of different news stations push out that he's anti-Semitic. And even fellow peers or fellow sportsmen or past ex-sportsmen called Kyrie out, disrespecting him. Yeah. Do you think that was the right manner?
I think at that time, those people thought, okay, pause. Everyone wants to be accepted by the world's worth. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Actually, let's go finish up.
I just mean, naturally, when I hear something that's kind of like not anti, but something that's a little thing, like, I have my feelings about bad behaviors where I'm like, I don't like bad people. I don't like bad phrases. I don't like bad things. Like, I'll act up in front of a person I don't like. Your judgment towards a person you don't like is very quick and quick-witted. So yeah, to your point, when those people speak out about another person, it's how humans are in nature. But no, I think upon reflection, they'd be like, let the guy do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
So in
All he did was he posted Hebrew to Negro, basically like a little screenshot of it. There was no comment whatsoever, and from that point on, things spiraled up onto the point where now his team is now demanding that he fulfills, 5 things, I believe, right? And now, fast forward, something happened, right? He got let back into the team, right? But just before he got let back into the team, his own people, as in the so-called blacks, when it comes to his own teammates, his peers, they weren't really coming forward to really support him as such. They were all being careful in what they say and how they associate themselves with Kyrie. So in a way, they kind of say that again?
Ostracizing him.
Right, ostracize him. So the likes of what? Shaquille O'Neal. Give me some names. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, even KD. Although he's trying to it seems like he's trying to come at him from like a arm's length, like he's trying to make it seem like he's there for his teammate, but in reality he doesn't want that backlash. And I feel like it's a thing where, of course, we're just normal people, we don't know everything, but I feel like it's a thing when you get to a certain point, there's like a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes watching you, and so maybe their teammates can't really handle that. So
What do you think?
At the end of the day, he's human. People make mistakes. Yeah, it might have been irresponsible, but I guarantee you.
But truly though, you know what I'm saying? Is what he said. Was he really bad? Him posting a screenshot of Hebrew to Negro.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. Me personally, I feel like people need to, before they make any judgments, they need to actually look at what he posted. Because I guarantee you, no one actually looked at what he posted. People just thought, media, anti-Semitic, boom. People just believe what they see on the internet, and that's the problem with the media. They just,
you give them an inch, they run a mile. Like literally, they take one thing and they'll expand it until it's out of control. Like it's just.
And also because he wasn't necessarily trying to conform to the narrative that they're trying to paint him in, and they deemed him because he wasn't really coming forth with the way they wanted to try and get information from him as anti-Semitic.
It's crazy.
And now the question now is really, what is anti-Semitic? What does it mean to be Semitic? Do you know anything about being Semitic at all?
From what I haven't directly researched into it, but from what I've seen, anti-Semitism is racial discrimination against Jewish people. And so I feel like it's become a thing where literally having an opinion that remotely goes against that community is deemed anti-Semitic. Like you can't say, for example, Hanukkah, maybe they have a celebration and, for example, maybe it causes too much noise or something. That's just an example. I'm not saying it does. If you were to say, Hanukkah, at times they're creating a lot of noise, anti-Semitic.
Bang. That's so true right there.
Like it's literally you don't have a voice. Like they've created this narrative that there's freedom of speech in the world. You don't have a voice. Look at Kyrie. Him putting out his voice, they're taking away things. They're taking his night contract. They're making him conform to all these pressures on his team, telling them that if he doesn't do this, he's not coming back to the team. They're trying to destroy his life to give a prime example at the top that people at the bottom can't follow this man. Like it's crazy.
You got anything to say about that?
yeah, I feel like in the media, there's not really they talk about free speech, but really, truly, it's not really free speech. You go what I mean? And me personally, I looked at what he posted. I did my research, and I don't want to get in trouble and all of that.
Saying you actually watched the Hebrew to Negro.
I did my research about the whole thing. Even with my mum as well, we've been listening to a podcast and all of that. And it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't anti-Semitic. It was actually historical facts about Black people's history. If you see, at school we had not a media day. It's like current affairs, yeah, and it was about how there are millions of artifacts in other countries and what they've done, they've taken off the noses of the statues, and it's like,
Okay. Now we've got a couple clips we want to show you, very short. So I'm going to show you the first clip, and then I want to get your feedback on it. Yeah. So this first clip, can we get the one of Charles Barkley? Okay, let's get the one of Charles Barkley. All right. So we're just going to show you the clip.
For what he's doing, it's obviously by his answers and the way he answers, he doesn't really care.
Chuck,
I think the NBA dropped the ball.
in what way?
I think he should have been suspended. I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion. If you're going to insult me, you have the right, but I have the right to say, no, you're not going to take my $40 million and insult my religion. I think the NBA, they made a mistake. We have suspended people and fined people who have made homophobic slurs, and that was the right thing to do. I think if you insult the black community, you should be suspended or fined heavily, depending. I saw they did the same thing to the kid in Minnesota this year when he made the gay slur. I think you should get suspended or fined. I think him acknowledging the Alex Jones thing should have happened with that too, because that dude's crazy. And I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot. And when you say, if I say, hey, I'm agreeing with this movie, this book or whatever, I'm agreeing with it. I'm not going to first of all, you know I don't do any social media, but when you're somebody as great as basketball like him, people going to listen to you what you say. And there's some fringe people out there, but like I say, I blame the NBA. He should have been suspended.
And their conversations are continuing with the Brooklyn Nets,
It's too
with
late
the NBA,
now.
but they're also looking at, they're looking at how do we move.
Okay, so that was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. What'd you make of that?
Yeah. So he said that at first that he should have been suspended, and that the NBA did a wrong thing by not suspending him. But now we do know that he's been suspended for 5 games. So how does that correlate?
Yeah. So this clip was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So that's before they suspended him. That's before they suspended him.
I think it was around the same time of the 5-game ban. Around that same time.
Okay. So I think personally, I do disagree with Charles Barkley, because he's saying that Adam Silver is Jewish, and so you can't insult his religion as you know, the leader of the NBA, kind of. I don't think that's fair. I think that just because let's say I'm Chinese and I'm the leader of a association, doesn't mean that I should take more higher sanctions or more sanctions just because someone has said something against Chinese people. If you say something against black people, against white people, against Asian people, against Jewish people, your sanctions should be the same. So I don't really see his point of saying, oh, just because Adam Silver is Jewish, now you have to take it more seriously. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Are you aware of what happened with Shaquille O'Neal?
Like what he said back to Kanye. I heard about it, but I don't know. I don't know, like, in terms of the quotations of what he said.
Yeah.
So maybe you can fill me in on what he said.
Perfect. So we're gonna play the video just to show you that even though we're living in lies, we also have so much disunity amongst us, because Shaquille O'Neal said this about him. So we're gonna play you the video to show you the mindset that we have, even when one of our brothers is being innocently,
Here's a link to this. That tells me, hey, you should watch this. Correct? He's got 17 million Instagram followers, another 5 million or so on Twitter. You're all over social media. Do you ever put something out there, Shaq, that does not represent something that you feel?
I was probably one of the first guys on Twitter, and when I realized the power it had, I knew I had to be very responsible. Followers, platform, whatever you call it, I knew I had to be responsible. I try to make people happy. I try to make people smile. My formula has always been the same: 60% to make you laugh, 30% to inspire you, and 10% whatever I'm selling. You have to be aware of what you're doing, and you have to be aware that sometimes when you put stuff out, not everybody's gonna like it. Some people are conscious, some people are not. I can tell he's not conscious. He doesn't really care what's going on. But I know that the game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done. I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I can say, no matter where you're from.
Okay, so you saw the main point. So Shaquille said that he's an idiot for posting that link, for just posting the link, and he's
Sorry, am I cutting you off?
no, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, like, what does it got to do with him dividing the game? What does that got to do with him? He hasn't done anything to divide the game. He just shared his own opinion. What's wrong with sharing your own opinion? You know, like sharing your own opinion and sharing valid opinion. Because it's one thing, yeah. I'm all here, like everyone's all here for like freedom of speech and stuff, yeah. And yes, but if we're gonna have freedom of speech now, yeah, you can't demonize people's speech or their opinions or what they have to say, especially when you know it has a weight. Do you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't divided basketball. The game can still go on, and you can still have your opinions on whatever you have in life. He just sharing his experience on us for us to now take on and see. You know, so like it's not him dividing the game and bringing this into basketball and turning it over. You know, a lot of these celebrities at the end of the day are more focused on protecting their own brand rather than having integrity and actually saying things for what it is. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of these celebrities see things and know things, but they're not willing to share based on what they have within their possessions and with fear of losing what they have.
As long as they can get the masses, it's literally about conforming to the masses.
Controlling the narrative.
Yeah, as long as they can get the masses to think one way, that whole wave will continue to push and filter out any other opinions that may filter through. Like literally, if, for example, there's 5 people here, if 4 out of 5 of us believe that everyone that says Jewish people this is anti-Semitic, my one voice saying nah, it's important to look at this is going to get filtered out. There's no way for me to stand here alone and say this is that when 4 other people are...
It's called being outnumbered, and there's power to numbers as well.
The herd.
Right.
Now I want to get an example of a group that showed support for Kyrie. So I want you to watch this clip, and I want you to give your views about what you see in the clip after. So this top one here, just put it back to the start so that you can hear.
Hey Kyrie, there was a group of about 100 people outside wearing the shirt of a group called Israel United in Christ.
Yeah, I think that's a conversation for another day.
We pray that God fight for us. That's and you're seeing the beginning of it right now. You've seen black men come together. How the hell do you miss over 1,000 men walking down the streets of Brooklyn, marching together, that have put away drugs, that have put away what? Being whoremongers, fornicators, that are men that stand up for their household. How the hell do you ain't out here? If the so-called white man who calls himself a Jew is still occupying the state of Israel, then that's the time of the Gentiles. It has not been fulfilled. That's what the Bible's saying. The Bible is saying the people that are in that land today are not the true occupants of the land. The true occupants or the true people of the land are the children of Israel that's in the ghettos of America today. What's it up for Batman saying he's a Jew is more extreme than nuclear fire? No. It is to those who know who we are. Us coming together is the greatest power on the earth. And that is the power that they truly fear.
So behind this now, this is the support that was brought forth on that Sunday, right? Now, do you think more of this should happen in terms of, because you said initially you would have moved like how his peers did and talk bad on him, but by reflection, you would have changed the statement. So now, the support that he received, Are you in agreement with it?
I would let it ride. I would let it ride because I think everyone's interpretation of anything that they think they know. Like I'm more, and I think this is where, I'm sorry, peoples. Like I'm not sure what the audience is, but I do think that my reflections might not be so aligned. But what I would say is like we are all in our own vessels, right? And there are stories that you can choose to believe or not believe, so long as you're good to people and everything. So for them to believe in that so strongly, I would never get in their way of believing that so strongly, because I think that we choose a storyline and we decide what's popular to follow and not follow. I personally am like, yo, none of it matters to me, so long as I'm good, right? So that I would support. And that I would support especially since it's challenging a narrative that everyone else has been force-fed to believe. And I think there's a lot of people who can't think for themselves.
But I do think it's quite a strong thing to for Kyrie specifically to have people those type of people in thousands marching defending him. I do feel like it shows that maybe the media has done something wrong to Kyrie because that many people are speaking out against it.
The source of the confidence, the source of confidence that Kyrie has is what we're going to try and go into, right? So give me Jeremiah 14:2. Let's start with that. So let's see the real Jews. Who are the real Jews? That's what we're trying to find out from the Bible, from the scripture. So what does it mean to be Jew, and what color were the real Jews originally? I read that.
There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth.
So the word Judah, that's one of the 12 sons of Jacob. Remember the forefather Jacob? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Judah is one of the tribes, right? The word Jew comes from the word Judah. All right, saying here, Judah mourneth. Read.
And the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So the Jews, the real Jews, they are black onto the ground. What color is the dirt of the ground?
Dark, black.
You don't agree that? That's us. Period. You know what I'm saying? There's no argument on that. So the real Jews are black, all right? And they're part of the Shemitic, grouping, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, speaking about that, it makes me think back to something I did in English in secondary school. It was like we had to research on racial history, and I looked into something called the divide and conquer scheme, which is like it spanned back to I think it was ancient Roman, and so it was basically a concept in which you make a large group of people think that they have to fight one another in order to stop them from grouping together and uniting to take on the actual foe. And so this whole thing where you're talking about like Jews being black, and then even that video you just showed us is so powerful. Everyone grouping together to come to a cause. That's what they want to prevent, because they know there's strength in numbers. There's strength in numbers, and by dividing us,
There's a reason, because I did not see that on the news. They wouldn't post that.
I didn't see that either.
That's why.
That's what you call the media blackout, isn't it? Pretty much, essentially, all right? But guess what? That video itself on different platforms, it garnered millions of views, believe it or not.
Your interpretation, my reaction to that is that black is misunderstood, the word. That's my reaction to your question.
What color are the Jews, from what you know?
So they're melanonin rich, Asian, Bayesian, Caucasian. And let me remind you, there's an Asian in every persuasion.
Now, do you actually know that you are a Jew by birth?
Maybe, I don't even know. I don't remember. Right.
So what country are you from?
Jamaica and India.
Jamaica and India, you said. Okay, so your dad's Jamaican?
Yeah, and my mum. Like all of them, they're all Jamaican and Indian, basically. So I'm just full of that.
What if I show you in the Bible that Jamaican people are Jews? First and foremost, you know what color biblically the Jews are? What if I was to show you? What would you say?
Anything. I need to see it first to see. I don't know.
Okay, let's see it. All right, so let's get a reader for Durrell. Right, he wants to see where in the Bible it says that the Jews are black. All right, first and foremost, we're going to show it for you. Now, the reason why I'm showing you is because, he's not crazy. All right, he knows what he's talking about. Some of the things he says may be off, but when it comes to the fact that Negro people are the Jews, that's absolutely correct. All right, those who went into slavery, those who went into the slave trade, they are the people of the Bible. They are the people of the book, all right? So we're going to show you, according to the Bible, that black people, Negro people that went into slavery are the Jews. Okay. Now, whilst we wait for a reader as well, now, do you actually know that our history, the way we got to Jamaica, because the people from Jamaica came from Africa, they were taken from Africa. Exactly. Do you actually know that that's documented in the Bible as well? You read it before in the Bible?
Read it before in the Bible, but I've got told.
You've been told that. And what was your take when you heard that?
Well, when I got told, that was when I was in like secondary, so I'm not really remember right now, but back then, yeah, is what is, to be honest.
All right, Darrell, we're gonna make this quick. We're gonna make this quick. So we're gonna read first and foremost to prove to you that so-called blacks who went through slavery are the true Jews. First, we're gonna go to the color of the Jews. All right, Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. The word Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So did you hear that, Darrell? I know there's a lot of distractions going on around, right? We're gonna read it for you one more time.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So did you hear how the Jews are being described? What did it say?
They're black.
Revelation 3 and 9 now. Let's finish that off. Revelation 3 and 9. It's going to repeat himself in Revelation 3 and 9. Read that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
They do tell lies, blasphemy, right? Okay, read.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
So Christ, the black Messiah that loved his own people, the real Israelites, the real Jews, is coming to dish out judgment to those who control the world, right? They control your Fox TV news, you name it, give me some more. They control the basketball world, all the sports world, the what? The music industry as well. All of this, they have all the riches now. When Christ comes back, he's going to make that stubble, right? That's their kingdom. Their kingdom will pound it down. And guess what? The real Jews will come back to power again. All right? So now you find out what's from you guys. What do you guys think about what we brought out to you today?
It's eye-opening because, even me, someone who thinks that they try and stay above like what is being filtered out there, I've still learned something new today.
I mean, I'm not surprised, man. It's like they've been lying. It felt like they've been lying to us our whole lives. Like, this is part of the reason why people need to go back and like see who they really are. And some of the stuff there I've heard from the research I've done, so it's all like linking up. So
John 8:32 first.
The book of John chapter 8 verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
And ye means you. The you is us, our people, black people, Hispanics, the oppressed people of this earth, yeah? We're going to know the truth, and the truth is going to set us free. But the powers that be are offended at that. Because they know that if we rise up from where we are to the top, they're going to have to come down. That's why it's such a big deal for one of us, a man, a black man, I should say, to share a link on the social media, and it's such a big deal just for sharing it. Give me where it says truth shall spring up.
The book of Psalms chapter 85 verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
So truth shall spring up from the earth. Okay, so the truth is coming out. Wiley's brought it out. Kendrick Lamar mentioned about us being the Israelites. Kyrie Irving is bringing it out. Who else again? Kanye West. I should say. So all this information is finally coming out. It's coming out. It's going out mainstream. But the powers that be, Job 9:24, the powers that be don't want that to go out there. They'd rather us be asleep.
So what have you learned so far according to the Bible? Remember we read Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. Remember what it says there?
Yeah, that we're truly Jews. Like all black people are truly Jews. And that when we do spread the word and stuff, we'll get criticized for it or put down for it and all that. And we can't just be our true self and what we truly are inside and stuff, where we truly came from.
Now, remember, you're a musician, right? You want to do music. Now, you just said something that's really heavy. You said we can't really be our true self, right? So why is that? Let me ask you, because through music, you can express yourself and you can influence a lot of people. But you wanting to be a musician, what do you think is going to happen to you if you try to speak any level of truth?
Well, in the music industry, it's very, very different in it. So almost like anyone that don't want the truth to be said will try to stop me from doing whatever I can. You get it? But there's always going to be them people around because they don't want the truth to be spread for some reason.
Who controls the music industry?
Well, I would call them like the power up. I don't know who they are, but they're just up there.
What nation of people own the record labels? What nation of people control the type of music that actually goes out? Because if you're an artist, you have to sign to a record label, don't you? Yeah. So who owns them? Is it Negro people that owns 90%, 80% of the record labels? Do you know?
I don't even know for sure for that one.
So you gotta look into that, Darrell. All right, you gotta look into that.
Jeremiah 14:2.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah moaneth.
So the word Judah is where Jew comes from. Jew is a short term for Judah, right?
Judah moaneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So when you talked about Black Jerusalem, it's actually a biblical thing. So it's not something that's somebody just came up with. It's not just a random thing. It's a biblical statement in terms of the Jews being black, or the concept of...
I think that black people are the people of the world, though. Like, I think, like, black people are the people of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah.
Based upon that, what do you think about that? About the Jews or Judah being black? Biblically.
I mean, if we're thinking about it, I believe it 100%.
Because basically, let's look at it.
I'm just saying, that whole concept that Jesus looks that way, it's all made up. Sorry, freaking made up.
Which one? That Jesus looks like what?
A white man with a beard and long hair that's so straight and so like, what, you think he didn't live? He didn't have a dread. He didn't have knots. He just looked fresh like a Jesus. All I'm saying is it's all made up, but okay, and I have to make this my last phrase. I'm so sorry. I do love when people love something so much. I think it's incredible, and I think it's the thing that rallies people together. So the fact that you're sat here, I love it. And I just, for me personally, I'm like, it's storytelling over something like that I don't need. But anyone who wants to be so stubborn about their approach to their story, their tale of their origin, their like belief in the higher power, I'm like, then you're stubborn because it's all make-believe so long as you believe it strongly. So I'm like, I believe this. I actually do believe this interpretation of things. And anyone who's to ever say some things where it's like, no, it's this way, no, they have no basis to say that ever. I'm just excited at what gathers people to feel so strongly about some things, okay?
Shalom Israel. So there you have it. We're in Brixton, that was cuts from the street. And today we were talking about the controversy, particularly with Kyrie Irving, but also with Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. Now, Officer Asher, what were the people saying to you?
Yeah, essentially, the people understood what was going on, who runs society, who runs the sports world, the media world, and how, Kyrie Irving's situation, kind of helped to bring to light, the truth about who is actually controlling the narrative of the world. How they try to, basically shut down our brother Kyrie Irving for knowing who he is. Because that's what they said. They said, I know who I am. I posted, H2N, Hebrew to Negro, screenshot. I didn't put anything else other than that. I was just trying to be proud of my people and what our heritage was. But then yet again, they tried to shut him down. Officer,
yes, exactly like you mentioned. And also, the people are able to see that our community is very disunified. All right, so we lack unity. All right, so we played them the video from of Shaquille O'Neal, of Charlie Barkley, and it just shows that there's a big conspiracy against us.
Hey, and that's one thing I want to put out there, because there's a lot of sports players, a lot of young athletes, basketball. We spoke to a couple basketball players today, but different sports, music industry, entertainment industry, all of that. And what you need to understand is your voice is going to be silenced. The voice that you should be speaking is the words of the Bible. That's it. Right? The words of the Most High, your true nationality, your true heritage as the Israelites. That's what we should be speaking. But when you speak those true things, guess what? You're going to be silenced. You're going to be cancelled. You're going to be blackballed. Just like it happened to Ye, just like it happened to Kyrie. Okay, that's what our people need to understand. So instead of disunifying, instead of turning against each other for bringing the truth of the Bible out, we need to come together as a nation not desired. That's what we should be doing as the Israelites. Not as black, not as Jamaican or Nigerian, as the Israelites. That's who we be. Now with that, that's it. That was cut from the street.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.